The gentleman from Charlottesville, Mr. Toscano. You don't have to if you don't want to.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Speaker. Speaking to the nomination. Mr. Speaker, ladies and gentlemen of the body, this has been a flawed process from beginning to end. Gentleman from Salem and I agree on that. And the gentleman from Salem and I agree on how appropriate the hearing was yesterday for Judge McCullough. The flawed process really, some of it lies with us. A lot of it lies on the other side of the hall. A lot of what happened and the mess we're in now has to do with decisions that were made really for no good reason other than somebody didn't get a phone call saying, well, what do you think of Jane Roush being appointed to the Supreme Court? And of course, there's been a lot of drama over there on the other side, not the least of which was this partisan politics process being elevated to the theater of the absurd when someone floats and finds qualified the Attorney General, former Attorney General Ken Cuccinelli, who apparently was not even consulted before they took a vote over there. I mean, that really is absurd. Now, I've stood on this floor on several occasions and talked about the process itself in terms of the rules. And I'm not going to raise any points of order today. I know you don't want to hear it. But I do want to point you to a couple of more things for you to think about. First, take a look at that resolution. Almost every resolution that we pass here related to judges talks about nominations for the court. And in fact, if you look at the resolution involving Jane Roush, it talked about nominations to the court. This resolution says a nomination. One, A. I would submit to you that that nomination has already occurred. That was when Judge Alston came before us. That was the nomination, a single nomination. Now, beyond that, remember we've had a lot of back and forth about whether this resolution is a separate and distinct resolution. And clearly it is not. 424 is the same resolution under which we voted on Judge Alston. So let's look at the rules. House Rule 1. House Rule 1 says, and I quote, "No nominee shall be offered to the House unless that nominee has been interviewed by the House Courts of Justice Committee and subsequently certified as qualified for election." Answer, yes. Check off box 1. Next, when more than one nominee is offered for any judgeship, a member can then cast a vote for only one nominee. This is the resolution, my friends. You've already cast your vote for one nominee. That's one of the reasons why people over here will not be casting a vote. Under the rules, we can't cast a vote. Mr. Speaker, a number of us have struggled with this over the last 24 hours, if it has even been 24 hours. And the reason we've struggled with this is we want this spectacle to go away. We care about the integrity of this institution. We care about consensus. We care about collegiality. We care about having a new justice on the Supreme Court. We've been working on that since last year. We care about the Virginia way and trying to figure out a way to restore it. But, Mr. Speaker, ladies and gentlemen of the House, this is a terrible process. And just to say that with this vote today, we do our job is not being fair to that process. Our job is not just about one vote. Our job is about a process. Our job is not just about that responsibility of casting that vote. It is a vote after a fair and open process, and more than just a 15-minute interview before House Court of Justice. It is a vote about a process where the public has an opportunity for more than 24 hours to look at a candidate's contributions and qualifications. It is a vote after the bar has looked at this person, vetted this person for this job, not for the Court of Appeals, not for the General District Court, the Circuit Court, for this job. It is true that Judge McCullough was vetted back in 2011. So what? Our job is to start brand new over and vet that person again. That has not occurred here. And just because someone says that we have a responsibility to cast a vote today does not make it so. We had a chance. We voted for Justice Roush. I exercised my constitutional duty a couple weeks ago when we voted for Justice Roush. I did my constitutional duty. I did my job. So don't anyone say we haven't done our job when we cast that vote. You won't see any red lights go up on that board for him, unlike what happened here a week ago. That's not what we do in this body. But that doesn't mean that we will put up green lights, because in our view, that is not an exercise of our constitutional duty. That is a violation of the rules. That's why I am not going to vote for Judge McCullough. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.